What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to show you guys how to replace a lower control arm on your Nissan Altima. Now this can apply to the years of 2002 all the way up to 2006 Nissan Altimas. So if you guys are having issues with your lower control arm and it needs to be replaced, stay tuned so I can show you how it's done. So we are going to be replacing our front passenger control arm. Now I got this control arm from a junkyard, so it is used, but it's in good shape. So these are some of the basic tools that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using a size 12mm socket, a size 19mm socket, a 21mm, a adjustable or a short socket 21mm, some wrenches, some pliers, and a hammer. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jack up the car and support it with jack stands. With our car safely supported by the jack stands, let's go ahead and remove our wheel. On my car, this is a 21mm. If you guys don't have air tools, loosen up your lug nuts while the car is on the ground. Go ahead and remove your wheel out of the way. Once we have our wheel off, let's go ahead and get in the car and turn the steering wheel to the left. This is going to allow us to have better access to the fasteners that we need to remove. Now that we have turned our steering wheel to the left, let's go ahead and remove our lower control arm. In order to do that, the first fastener that we need to remove is this guy right here. This is going to be a 21mm, so go ahead and remove that one. Let's start off by removing this cotter pin that we have in here. Remove the fastener with a 21mm. I'm going to be using an adjustable wrench. Once you have loosened up the fastener, go ahead and hit the knuckle right here with a hammer so that the lower control arm can get free from this section. Next, what we're going to do is remove this fastener right over here. This is going to be a 19mm fastener, so go ahead and remove that one. If you're having a hard time removing this fastener right here, go ahead and get your wrench right here and stick it in between, and then just pull it this way and it should come off. Next, what we need to do is jack up this K-member on the engine, because there are some fasteners on this side that we're gonna need to remove, and one of them is supporting the K-member on this part. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up the car a little bit just to support it. So just enough so that we can get the pressure off of the bolt. So basically this is what we're doing right here. We're just keeping the pressure off of this fastener right here, because we're going to need to remove this one. And we'll also need to remove these two 12mm. So go ahead and do that right now. In order to remove this fastener, you guys are going to need a breaker bar. So go ahead and get yourself a long breaker bar and break that loose. Once you guys have removed the bracket, go ahead and remove those two remaining fasteners that you see right here. These are both going to be size 19, so go ahead and remove them. Now that we have removed all the fasteners holding on the lower control arm, let's just go ahead and remove it. If you guys are having a hard time, you guys can just jiggle it side to side. You guys can even get like a flathead and pry this out of here. But it should be pretty much free. Now that we got our lower control arm out, let's go ahead and compare these two side by side. Now, as you guys can see, they're pretty much the same exact part. But the only thing is that if you look at this ball joint on this one right here, this is the one that we removed. It's completely destroyed. And in our new one, it's nice and firm. On the old one, it's all loose. On this one, it's nice and firm, so that's why we're replacing it. Let's go ahead and install these back in the car. We're just gonna go ahead and line everything up and install our bolts. We're not gonna torque anything down because this needs to be on the ground with the wheels on in order to be torqued. So I'm not gonna be torquing them yet because we're gonna do that once the car is on the ground with the wheels. This is gonna ensure that the bushings are not in a bind and that everything is torqued evenly. So we're just gonna go ahead and install these for now. So I just ran these guys down snug. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our bracket and fasten that down as well. Now that we have our bracket in, we're gonna go ahead and torque only the bracket down. So this fastener, the big fastener right here, this gets torqued to 145 foot-pounds. And then these two little ones right here, these get torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. You're going to want to do this when you have the jack supporting the subframe right here, because if you do not, it's going to be uneven. So go ahead and just leave it supported like that and then torque it down. So let's go ahead and torque this down to 145 foot-pounds. These two fasteners are actually going to get torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. Sorry about the misunderstanding. Next, let's go ahead and run this fastener down. Now that we have fastened everything down, let's go ahead and remove our jack, put on our wheel, and let's torque down these fasteners. Now that our car is on the ground, let's start torquing things down. These two fasteners in the rear of the control arm get torqued to 139 foot-pounds. So go ahead and torque them down. Next, what we're going to do is torque our ball joint fastener here. That's going to get torqued down to 78 foot-pounds. Don't forget to install your cotter pin. Finally, we're going to go ahead and torque down this bolt. This one gets torqued down to 105 foot-pounds, so go ahead and torque it down. Last but not least, go ahead and torque down your lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. Alright guys, so this is pretty much going to conclude the end of this video. If you guys did like what you guys saw, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And like always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.